Well, hey guys, what's up? It's your boy AL Legends, and today I am back with a series which I wanted to do for a long time, and I'm pretty sure that no one has ever done this type of what if before, and that will be what if Naruto was a total badass. So now, let's get into this video. The story begins when Minato sealed away the nine tails into Naruto. But he made a little bit mistake as some of the personality, the carefree, get lost, that type of personality of Kurama, the nine tails, enters into Naruto. Well, it is not like that type of personality, I will kill you, yeah, or something like that. You understand me. It is just the carefree attitude. As you can see in those pictures, he's he looks completely badass. So now, Naruto grew up as he had no care in the world. People glare at him as they call him a demon or things like those. But Naruto just ignored them as this make people even more angrier as they thought that Naruto is looking down upon them, and that is right. He is looking down upon them. He thinks that he's better than all of them. Kurama personality. I am better than all 8 Bijus. Yeah, that type. As Naruto really thinks that these people are beneath him, and he does not even care what they think. As Naruto is 4 years old. As for a kid, he is really powerful. As he was walking into the streets, then he suddenly saw that some of the people came there and started to scream, "The demon!" The other one states, "Yeah, let's get him. Who does he think he is? Yeah, we shall teach him a lesson," another one says, as Naruto was still walking, as he heard all of them. Then he saw that he was at a dead end. But that is what the others think that Naruto was just trying to run away or walk away as he came into the street, which was a dead end. But unknowing to all of them, Naruto was the one who bring all of them there. As Naruto looked back, as he had his hands in his pockets and with half of his eyes closed, he looked towards them as one of them said, "Yeah, now demon," started to scream. "Now scream for help. No one is going to help you. Today is the day you shall die, you little demon." As Naruto still had no expression on his face, was just looking towards him, as he still had his arms, his hands in his pockets. As other one said, "Who do you think you are, you little demon? You think you're so special? You are nothing. You are just a piece of trash." As one of them said, "What are we talking about? Let's just finish him." As he ran up to Naruto and punched him on his head. But Naruto was still standing there as nothing happened. As the man still had his hand on Naruto's head, confused and shocked at the same time, why Naruto did not flinch back or started to scream in pain as he was a Chunin level shinobi. Naruto just looked towards him and smirked as Naruto grabbed his hand with his little hands of 4 years old, as Naruto lift him up with his hands and slam him into the ground. Then Naruto did the same thing as Naruto put his foot on his face and slammed him to the ground, making a small crater there, as all of them were shocked to see that a little 4 years old did something like this to the Chunin, a Chunin level shinobi. As other one said, "You little demon, we knew you was a demon," as he started to attack Naruto. But Naruto did not move even a little, as Naruto closes his eyes as the shinobi tried to stab Naruto with his kunais. But Naruto grabbed kunai with his bare hands as he looked towards him and said, "Well, is that all the great shinobis who wants to kill a demon has to offer? Ha, How pathetic. If you really think that you can kill a demon, then at least you should have become some strong. Well, too bad. Your arrogance got all of you killed. As these were 5 people, 3 of them, no, 2 of them, let's just say that 4 of them were civilians, as 3 of them were shinobis, chunin level. As this was the second Chunin, as Naruto break his arm in front of his other companion and the villagers as he was screaming in pain, as Naruto kicked him on his face as he was slammed into the wall, as Naruto started to walk up to the other people who was now scared as they decided to run, but Naruto appeared in front of them as he had his back turned to them as they were now scared. As one of them said, the demon, Nine Tails, kill him, Shinobi, as the Shinobi, who was scared out of his mind, decided to run towards Naruto, just trying to attack him, as Naruto looked back as he had the Nine Tails eyes, as he just vanished from his side, appeared in front of him and punched him so hard as his bones started to break, as everyone could hear the noise of bones breaking. Let's just say that Naruto is not 4 years old, he is 6 years old. Yeah, that would be much better. As the one slammed into the civilians, as Naruto made hand signs and said, Fire style, great fireball jutsu, as the great fireball dashes towards the people as attacking them and blowing them. They were not dead, but they were all severely injured. As Naruto said, what a disappointment. Is that all the great shinobis who wanted to kill a demon has to offer? How pathetic. As he just started to walk away, waste of my time. He was just walking back towards his apartment. As then, after some time, the Ambu in the civilian servant came there and saw these people and took them to the hospital. Here we take a flashback. When Naruto was 4 years old, he went to the village and saw how people calling him different names and different things. He became a little sad about this, as Kurama, who knew that some of his personality is in Naruto and he just have to activate it, or made Naruto realize it, as this was good part of Nine Tails, as he forced Naruto into his mindscape as Naruto appeared in front of the cage. As Naruto saw that a big fox was behind the cage, he became a little scared, but then Kurama calmed him down and explained his story, that how he was controlled by Madara Uchiha, the masked man, and he was forced to do all of these things. As Naruto was shocked, as Nine Tails explained that Naruto is actually the son of 4th Hokage and Kushina Uzumaki, as Naruto was stunned after hearing that he was the son of 4th himself. He was surprised, but Nine Tails said, well, these people will not treat you well, just like you saw today, but I will train you. I will train you to harness my immense strength, and then no one will disrespect you. But if you don't believe me, then go back to the world, and when you had enough of these people calling you demon and different names, come back to me and I shall train you and develop your body to strong enough to harness my powers. And here's the flashback ends. As Naruto after some time went to the Nine Tails and they were training for 2 years. As the Ambus took the people to the hospital, as the Hokage was summoned there. As his eyes, after seeing that these people, he asked one of them that how this all happened, as he said, the demon did this to us, as he was stuttering, as he was heavily injured. As Hokage was shocked to hear this, that Naruto can do something like this to these people, as Danzo's Ambu also heard what the guy said and reported this back to the Danzo, as Danzo got the opportunity to get the demon on his side, as he wanted Naruto to join the Ambu Black Ops. As the council meeting was summoned there, as they were discussing about Naruto, the Hokage sighs when he was called for the meeting because he knew that this must be about Naruto or those things. As he went to the meeting and asked what is this meeting all about, and Hiyashi Hyuga stood up and said, well, Lord Hokage, it seems that the demon is attacking people on the streets, as we heard these things, as Hokage sighs, as it was ordered that Naruto Uzumaki would be summoned there, as it was not the civilian council there, as only the shinobi council were discussing this. As civilian council wanted to go there, but they were stopped by the Hokage, as they wanted to discuss it in between themselves, as Naruto was summoned into the council. As Naruto walked into the council, still had his hands into his pockets, as walked into the council and looked towards Hokage and said, well, Lord Hokage, you summoned me? Naruto don't give respect to anyone, even to Hiruzen, as he still says him old man, but in the council he wanted how to play his role quite well, as then one of them stood up and it was Danzo and said, well, Naruto Uzumaki, you are arrested for attacking the civilians as well as some shinobis who have become quite injured because of you, and they are in the hospital. As Naruto looked toward him and another one stood up and said, yeah, you demon, how dare you to hurt those people, you are just a demon. As some of the people were gasping between them, as Naruto still had a bored expression on his face, and then he sighs as he started to yawn and then looked towards him and said, well, is that all you guys have to say? As Naruto had a bored expression on his face, as Danzo did not like the expression that this kid is giving them all, as Hiyashi said, listen, brat, give us some respect and pay attention to our words, as Naruto looked toward him, still bored, and sighs and started to yawn once again and said, well, I'm no fool. What proof do you guys have that I was the one who beat all of them? As this statement shocked everyone. They did not expect that a 6-year-old will demand a proof from them, as Hokage smiled and said, yeah, what proof do you guys actually have? As Hiyashi said, well, we can summon those people that this demon attacked, as Danzo nodded, and the Ambu bring the shinobis as well as civilians, as total were 7 people, 3 Chunin level, 1 low Jonin level, and other 3 were civilians. As all of them looked towards Naruto, as Naruto had a innocent face, and then he walked up to one of the Chunin that Naruto put his foot on his face and looked towards him dead in eyes and said, well, I was the one who beat all of you guys, as still looking towards them, as he had back on the console and looking towards them, as his eyes for a moment turned into the Nine-Tails eyes, as all of them were shocked. No civilian member saw Naruto doing this. All those civilians, or you can say those shinobis, saw him, as the one stuttered, no, he was not the one. As Hiyashi said, what are you saying? You clearly stated that he was the one who attacked you guys. As Danzo said, you brat, what did you do to these guys? As Naruto looked towards him and said, me? I didn't do anything, as he still has that innocence face expression as Danzo narrowed his eyes towards Naruto, and then Naruto said, "Well, Lord Hokage, how can I beat these guys? These are grown-up mans. These are chunins, and this one is even a jonin. And you expect me, a 6 years old, to beat these guys up? Well, I did not know that the shinobi of this village are this weak as Naruto has still that innocence voice." As he was saying all of this, and with a strange expression, as Hokage said, "Yeah, I believe you, Naruto," as he looked towards Shinobi and said, "Well, if you really think that we are stupid enough to believe that a 6 years old beat all of you guys up in such a bad condition situation, and if it is really the case, then you guys surely don't belong the titles you have, the Jonin and the Chunin, if you got beaten up a 6 years old. So what is it?" As all of them said, "No, Lord Hokage, Naruto was not the one who beat all of us, as we were just drunk. So we did not know anything, as we just thought that something hit us." As now Danzo was in pure anger, as he said, "Hiruzen, you don't believe him, right? That brat must be taken over by the Nine Tails, as he must have used the power of the Nine Tails." As Naruto in this time already knew that he was the Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails, as Naruto started to speak. Well, no, let's just say that Naruto was dismissed from the council, and Hiruzen says, "Well, Naruto, it is proven that you did not do anything, and these people were just drunk, so you can leave from here. These people were just drunk, so you can leave." As Naruto nodded, and by turning his back towards the council, he looked towards Shinobi and smirked and left the council room. As Danzo stood up, "Hiruzen, how could you? You know that he must have used the chakra of the Nine Tails, and that's the reason he must have beaten the shinobis up." As Hiruzen said, "Listen to me, Danzo. These are Chunins and Jonin, as well as these civilians are already grown-up men, and I did not sense a little bit of Nine Tails chakra. If it was the case, the Ambos must have sensed it. So just sit down." As Danzo was in pure anger, he cannot argue with that. No one sensed the chakra of the Nine Tails or anything like that, so they don't have any proof against Naruto Uzumaki. As Hiruzen sighs, and then the council was dismissed. It was the golden opportunity for Danzo to get Naruto on his side in his ambush, or just get the Nine Tails chakra extracted from him, but he lost the opportunity completely. Even some of the shinobi side, like Hayashi Hyuga, did not like Naruto and wanted him to be gone, and that is because of one reason that I will explain in this part, of course. Well, guys, I just wanted to make it like a movie type. If you guys support me in this, what if I will make a complete series of it, as it could be a quite interesting idea. If you guys like it, of course, that is, and especially like and subscribe. Tell me in comments if you like something to add or things like those. So now let's just start the story. As Naruto became 8 years old, he was still training with Kurama in his mindscape as well as in outside world, as he was learning a lot of jutsus and other things, because Kurama was in Mito Uzumaki, Kushina Uzumaki, as so he knew a lot of sealing techniques and especially the swordmanship, as Naruto started to use a sword and started to lift it with him, as many people started to now fear him, as they heard that, as the rumor spread quickly that Naruto beated Chunin and Jonins, so people started to fear him, so they don't even glare at him or call a demon on his back, as Naruto liked it because he's a total badass and he completely believed that fear is quite good than the disrespect, as he'd rather want people to fear him. As finally time passes and now Naruto is finally in the Ninja Academy. As it was, let's just skip to the very day when Naruto and Sasuke first time fought, as all the fangirls were cheering for Sasuke kun, as Naruto had a bored expression on his face as he entered into the ring and started to yawn. Then he put his hands into his pockets and looked towards Sasuke. As Sasuke had arrogant smirk. First he had an arrogant smirk on his face. Then he saw that when Ruka said begin, Sasuke did not attack Naruto as he saw that Naruto was looking down upon him, not making any stand or anything like that. He became angry and dashes towards Naruto, trying to deliver a punch, but Naruto just started to yawn once again and sidestepped the punch as Sasuke missed it quite easily. As Sasuke moved back, trying to deliver a kick as Naruto was dodging all of this, still had his hands on his pockets as all of them were watching this in amazement as Sasuke was attacking again and again but nothing was happening. It was like Naruto had the Sharingan and he could predict all the movements of Sasuke. As Naruto finally had enough as he was about to attack, then Sasuke made some distance between himself and Naruto and then he said, Fire style, great fireball jutsu as the fireball dashes towards Naruto. Naruto did not even move and started to walk towards the fireball as the fireball hit Naruto head on. As all the girls started to scream for Naruto, Sasuke kun, as then Iruka said, well, that must have knocked that kid out. As Ruka thought that attack must have knocked Naruto out, as all the girls screaming for Sasuke. As then Sasuke had arrogant smirk on his face. Then his smirk got erased, you can say that, as Naruto was walking out of the fireball like nothing ever happened. Even Iruka was shocked. Even his clothes did not got a little scratch. Nothing was on it. As in reality, Naruto put on a barrier of chakra around him, which protected him just like a key barrier, as it was made up of chakra. As he was just walking towards Sasuke, as Sasuke has wide open eyes, he could not believe that his fireball should have caused some damage. He was thinking that as Naruto simply vanished out of all eyes. Even Ruka could not follow Naruto as Naruto appeared in front of Sasuke and he had his kick placed into Sasuke's stomach as Sasuke spit out a lot of saliva and he was blown towards a tree as he got hit the tree and got knocked out. As Naruto started to yawn and said, well, Iruka sensei, I won, right? As Iruka said, Naruto, yeah, you won. As all the girls started to scream that Naruto cheated, as Naruto did not even care about them and started to walk towards the man group. As all of them were shocked and amazed at the same time, as Shikamaru was the person who Naruto liked the most because both of them had the same type of personality. You can say that both of them were quite lazy. As Naruto always used to yawn in every fight and in the class a lot, and he often fell asleep besides Shikamaru. As so, Shikamaru and Naruto as well as Choji became good friends in no time at all. There was only one girl who was friends with Naruto, and that was none other than Ino. As here we have a flashback, as when Naruto was 6 years old, he was walking in the streets, then he saw that some of the bullies were bullying a girl. Same story of Hinata, but let's just say that it was of Ino, because personally I think that Hinata is a good character. I must say that. That's for sure. But she was not quite suited for Naruto. That is my personal opinion. I know many people will say that no, Naruhina is the best. But please guys, don't say that in comments. I don't like those things. It is my story and I would prefer Ino to be ship. Or you guys, if you guys want to suggest something else, I will consider it. So, let's get back into the story. As she was the only girl who was friends with Naruto, as Naruto had his own group, which consists of Shikamaru, Choji, Ino, as well as Kiba, who was in front, was quite arrogant, but Naruto beat him up and put him on his place, just like Sasuke, as he became friends with Naruto after a while. As this was the friend group, and on the other hand, Sasuke started to train day in and day out, started to train with Itachi, even Shisui, but there were a lot of fights as Naruto beat him up, senseless, as no matter what Sasuke does, it was all for nothing. So, but there was one thing, Naruto always won all the fights, but his grades was quite low because he was often absent from the class, did not attend the academy at all. Just went there for the small tests of jutsus or things like those. So Naruto was at the bottom of the class for not attending the academy. As the time passes on, Naruto was the dead last of the academy, but he did not care, just like Shikamaru. When he attends the academy, he often likes to sleep. As then, time passes on, and finally, they arrive for the graduation exams. The day Sasuke Uchiha was waiting to prove that he is the superior to all, but little did he knew. So now, as Naruto wakes up, as in this time Naruto already had a little fan girl group for him because he was so badass. He did not even care about a single thing in the world, as whenever he fights with so passion, and he often looks so cool in the fights. This caught the fan group of Sasuke to be in half, as many girls started to follow Naruto as well. As now it was the final day of the graduation, as all of them were ready. As Naruto came late as usual, as Iruka said, "Alright guys, today is the day of graduation. Some of you might become shinobis, and some of you might not be able to become shinobi of the Konoha. But just remember that I am proud of all of you guys, and I believe that you will become great shinobis. So now, let us continue. Start the graduation exam." Then he started to do roll numbers or attendance. You can say that. As he said, Naruto Uzumaki, no answered. As Ruka said, Naruto Uzumaki, as he looked all over the class and Naruto was nowhere to be found. As Ruka says, "Don't tell me that that kid is not going to come today." As he was about to say something else, as he saw that a flame started to come to the academy, as the flame vortex was in the academy, and then flame started to wipe down and Naruto came from them, as Ruka had his jaw on the ground, and girls when saw Naruto they started to scream for Naruto's name, as Iruka sighs and said, "Naruto, you're late." And what was that? As Naruto said, "It is my fire Shinchuin Jutsu. You like that?" As Ruka said, "Well, have to admit that looks so cool. But Naruto, you're still late. Why are you late?" Naruto yawned again and said, "Well, what can I say about that? I did not woke up on time." As he started to walk toward his seat, as Ruka sighs because Naruto was quite lazy. It was in front of all of these people, but it is actually in front of all of peoples. It was nowhere near the reality. As then Naruto took his seat near Shikamaru and Iruka started to do the graduation exam. First was the written test, as Naruto looked towards the test and within 1 minute he completed the paper. Then he folded the paper and started to sleep. As Iruka thought that Naruto didn't know a single answer, as Sasuke smirked at this because he was keeping an eye on Naruto as he thought that that dope must fail today. As after that, they took the papers and said, well, your test will begin after we check these papers and give you results. As Sasuke was confident that he will get good marks on these papers, even though he might not had more marks than Sakura, but he will have more marks than Naruto. And yeah guys, Uchiha massacre did happen because Naruto being badass will not change a single thing for poor Uchihas. Well, it is my personal opinion that it is quite shame for the great Uchiha clan to be massacred by a single 13 to 14 years kid. Yeah, Obito was also there, but mostly Itachi was the one who massacred the clan. Well, let's get back to the story. As Iruka came and said, well, okay guys, here are the results. The third position is, no, the first position is, what? Naruto Uzumaki? As everyone got their eyes widened. They knew that Naruto was good at taijutsu and those things, but they did not know that Naruto was also good at grades. As Iruka started to fold his paper and saw that all these questions were right, and Iruka said, well, Naruto, you got 100% marks. As Naruto did not even care as he was still sleeping. As Iruka sighs and said, well, guys, second position is Sakura and third is Sasuke. As Sasuke got angry at this, he wanted to scream that how he saw that dope turn the paper after 1 minute of giving the paper, but he cannot say that now because that will only make Naruto even more badass. As he sees his teeth in anger as Iruka says and said, okay guys, next is Shuriken Jutsu. As Sasuke smirked because he knew that Naruto was not good at those, and he entered the ring and then he made the Uchiha style Shuriken Jutsu as he threw all of these jutsu at once. All of the kunais and shuriken, all of them hit the dead center except one. As Iruka said, well done Sasuke, you got 9 out of 10. As all the fangirls were screaming for Sasuke kun, Sasuke kun, Sasuke kun. As all of the kids did their turn. And now it is turn for Naruto. As Naruto came there, as Iruka sighs and said, well Naruto, you know, you just have to hit 5 of them. If you do that, you will be able to pass. As Naruto sighs and pick up all the kunais and shurikens and without even looking towards any of them, he threw them at once and all of them hit the dead center. Iruka had his jaw on the ground once again, as Sasuke was also shocked because every time Naruto turns came to throw the kunais, not even a single one of them hit the center or any, not even dummies. As Iruka was shocked as he said, Naruto, you got full marks. As Naruto sighs as all the fangirls of Naruto started to scream for Naruto, Naruto. As then it turns came replacement jutsu and the transformation jutsu. As all of them did that, Sasuke made 4 clones of himself and was confident that that Doe will fail at this. That was sure. As finally Naruto turns came, as Iruka said, okay Naruto, first is replacement jutsu as he threw kunai towards Naruto suddenly, but Naruto easily replaced himself with Iruka. As Iruka had his eyes widened, he barely dodged the kunai and said, what the hell? Why did you do that, Naruto? As Naruto looked towards him and said, well, you said replacement jutsu. You did not tell me with what to replace with. As Iruka said, but as Iruka can't argue with that, as all of the class started to laugh at this. As Iruka sighs and said, "Alright, Naruto, you are right. Now, please do the clone jutsu. And please do that right." As Naruto sighs and did not even made any hand signs as he put both of his hands into his pockets. Iruka was about to say something, then suddenly 20 clones of exact Naruto appeared behind him as Iruka had his jaw hit the ground. As Naruto said, transformation jutsu, as all of them transformed into different peoples, as first Hokage, second Hokage, third Hokage, fourth Hokage, Iruka, Mizuki, as people like those started to appear there. As Iruka said, "What? Clones can do that?" As Mizuki said, "Iruka, those are shadow clones." As Iruka said, "Naruto, how do you know that jutsu?" As Naruto started to yawn again and said, "That will be troublesome to explain. Do I really have to, Iruka sensei?" As Iruka said, "Naruto." As he said, "Okay, Naruto, you pass." And Naruto went back. After some time, Iruka came there. And now it is time for the last test of you guys. As that will be, you have to keep your ground against Mizuki for 3 minutes. Don't worry, he won't go hard on you guys, but you guys have to be ready for anything. As Mizuki thought. As